For the vast majority, it was feast and famine. It was grueling to get something like that working. Now, fast forward to today, and AI has entered the picture, but I have three things that AI can never replace: real wisdom, genuine transformation, and human connection. I've narrowed down into what I would consider 8 core pillars of an AI proof, expertise driven business model. So, I would like to take a few minutes to talk about those 8 pillars with you. Over the past 25 years, the game for information products was simple. You sell a course, you sell a membership area, come and buy my 15 module, 35 lesson program over how to do X, Y, and Z. And that promise was alluring. And for a small handful, they made a lot of money. But for the vast majority, it was feast and famine. It was grueling to get something like that working. Now, fast forward to today, and AI has entered the picture. The reality is there's going to be a shift, and there already is a shift. Now, I've spent the past few years studying this industry, studying this business model, the expertise driven business model, those that sell coaching and those that sell their knowledge in the form of courses and whatnot. And AI is coming for us. It's the reality. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But what I've determined is that we're about to split into 2 lanes. One lane being that of the information broker, somebody that just sells their information. I liken that to putting up a toll booth on a public interstate. You've got a 4 lane interstate, you've got one toll booth right there, and you're saying, hey, pay the toll, buy my information, when everybody else is just zipping by using AI to get the answers that they're searching for. That's the information broker. And AI is coming. They're going to take your lunch. The other side of the coin is what I would consider a transformation leader. And I know that sounds a bit heady. Let me explain what that means. Transformation leader is just that. It's one that says, I know AI is here, but I have 3 things that AI can never replace: real wisdom, genuine transformation, and human connection. And that's so important nowadays. Real wisdom, genuine transformation, and human connection. So when I think about the split here, and I think about the industry as a whole, I've narrowed down into what I would consider 8 core pillars of an AI proof, expertise driven business model. An AI proof coaching business, an AI proof business that sells knowledge and expertise that others would want to buy from. So, I would like to take a few minutes to talk about those 8 pillars with you. Now, truthfully, I started coming up with these before AI, and I always had a bone to pick with those that just sold a course. It's like, buy my course for $9.97 and see you later. I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that they were just selling a course and they didn't truly care. Now, there were some that cared. And I've worked with about 300 different clients in this space. And yes, there's some that absolutely care. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about those people that are just really good marketers, but sold 45 video lessons in a package. I'm talking about those that just sold access to a membership area and that's it. So, how do we become transformation leaders? Well, there's 8 core pillars that I want to talk through right now. Number one is you need a roadmap. A roadmap, a blueprint, it's all really the same. I think about it like when we played Candyland as kids, the Candyland board game. When you started off, you saw that your little person was right there. Boop. I still remember the the miniature cardboard cutout type thing. It's right there. And to get to the end, you had to go through Molasses Swamp and Gumdrop Village and all the different key areas on the board. And you knew as soon as you saw that board that you were going to go broop, 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 broop. You had a path. Same with a yellow brick road. You know that in order to get to Oz, you've got to go through the various areas or neighborhoods in the land of Oz. And I meant the Emerald City, the land of Oz. But with that, I want you to use a roadmap. And I want you to ask a question. Do you have a clear, stage by stage, step by step blueprint, a phased approach for them to get a tangible outcome, for them to get the result that they are paying you for? And if not, how can you create it? It doesn't have to be complex. It can be step one, step two, step three, step four. And that's done over X weeks, X months, X days. Boom, there's a graphic and a slide presentation for your sales conversation. Boom, there's a graphic for when you onboard somebody. There's a graphic throughout the entire thing. There's a graphic that, hey, you're in stage one, but you cannot get to stage four until you go through stage two. And you cannot get to stage four until you go to stage three. So I want you to be mindful of, do you have a clear, staged, phased pathway for someone to visualize? That can be a phased journey. It can be part of your diagnostic sales process. Hey there, I understand you're wanting this solution, but you're not ready for it yet. That'll allow you to become a consultative seller rather than a hard closer. And in today's day, people want to talk to somebody who prescribes and diagnoses rather than hard sells. It can be in the form of a growth scorecard. A growth scorecard, that just means you've got to check these boxes in order to see this result. There's a checklist, there's a certain process or assessment that you can go through to see where you're headed. A roadmap can be in the form of tiered service offerings. So, for example, if you provide a program, you could also add in an ascension into a done for you type of engagement up here. But if they're not ready for the core program, you can down level them into something more do it yourself or a template pack, etc. if they're not quite ready for that. A roadmap allows you to prescribe the exact solution they need at that exact time without you, oh, yeah, I mean, you're kind of ready. Come on in the program. I'm sure it'll help. So it solidifies your solution. That's the roadmap. Second, we have guided implementation. Now, this is one I'm pretty passionate about. I want you to ask yourself, do you just give people content, a library of content, a training center, or do you have hands-on systems in place? And that's a keyword, systems. Businesses scale based on systems, and they don't based on the lack thereof. Do you have hands-on systems that make sure they actually execute? See, information is free, implementation is priceless. To the right buyer, it's priceless. That's why, for my firm, Be Known, we provide a done for you solution out front. Now, yes, we can offer consultation and we provide strategy and whatnot, but when clients come to us, we are high touch, white glove. It's a very premium process. Now, I know that's different than a program for coaching or selling your knowledge or expertise, but I want you to know that I could quickly package up what we have and put it in the form of a program that also has done for you elements on top. Some of the most successful information product businesses out there have these elements of guided implementation. Let me talk through some of them. Number one, high touch onboarding. How are you onboarding? How are you starting your clients off on the right foot? Your first 30 days, heck, your first 5 minutes after they buy are so important. How are you structuring that? Don't just give them a login. Co-create the growth roadmap with them. Sit down with them. And if it's not you, have a facilitator or a coach under you, somebody who's certified. Sit there and say, yeah, let's go through it together. Hey, Susie, David, welcome to the program. We're going to map out what it looks like for you to hit your goals over the next X days, X weeks, X months, whatever it is relevant to your program. So after onboarding, do you have any sort of coaching calls? Maybe it's done with you type of work. Maybe it's following a structured process. The question I get asked quite often is, but Daniel, won't people get tired of the same old thing? And the surface level answer is yeah. But actually, when we dig down deeper into it, repetition is the mother of learning. And there's a bit more to that quote, but I want you to focus on that. Repetition is the mother of learning. And the fact that you're saying the same thing, they have the ability to show up each week on a structured call, they know exactly what they're going to get. That provides so much value because they may not show up for 4 weeks, but then they hit a roadblock and they're ready to show up because maybe they're creating a new web page, a new funnel, or maybe they're going through the same process, but they haven't done it in a while and they need to get a refresher. So, structured themed calls are excellent. I love them when done correctly. Next, we have accountability systems. So, are you pairing your clients up with others? Maybe it's a peer group, maybe it's a one on one type of accountability engagement, maybe it's the client plus the facilitator. I want you to build in non negotiable check ins. The number one reason people fail when they're going through a program, a knowledge based program, expertise based program, they're trying to get an outcome, is that there's no accountability, there's no follow through. They just stop showing up. I've even been in that before. I bought a course, I was so excited to go through it, and then life happens. How are you building in non negotiable check ins? A program that I'm involved in, they make me submit my numbers, my financial data, my client data, what I'm working on. They say, "Do you know your next steps?" And I say, "Yes." And they say, "What are your next steps?" They don't let me off the hook. I want you to build the same structured check-in process with your program. Next, implementation sprints. So, are you guiding your people through what they need to be doing, or are you leaving them to their own accords and saying, "You got it"? No. I want you to build in implementation sprints. I want you to think about how you can structure 14, 30, 21-day structured sprints, I think is the best word for it. Structured sprints that achieve one specific outcome. Maybe it's writing an ad. Maybe it's adding 5 pounds to the bar when they're working out. Maybe it's losing those 5 pounds. So, whatever it is, think about it. Focused energy. That's what we're trying to do here. And finally, in guided implementation, you have the certifier role. Hey, I'm a certified coach. I'm certified in your process, right? As you grow and scale, you only have the same number of hours in the day that everybody else does. So as you grow and scale, your time is not going to grow and scale as well. So you need to leverage other people to make sure that you're not creating a prison for your own company. This could be a team member that you bring on that does well in the industry. You could poach them from another company. You could put out job posts. But one that I like the best is you certify your students. So you take your students or your clients that you've worked with and you turn them into coaches. You certify them. Here's your certificate. They have the full authority of this program. They understand what I'm teaching in this program to a T. They've gone there and they've done it and they've done it successfully. So they are now my coach. It doesn't need to be a full time position for them. They can do ad hoc calls as needed on an hourly or daily basis. For example, I actually spend a couple hours each week working with a previous client of mine. And I do 20-minute rapid fire coaching sessions for her clients. So I just do 2 hours out of the week. And do I get paid a lot? No, not at all. But it gets me going. It keeps my mind sharp. It helps me understand what's going on with all sorts of businesses and industries, verticals, and whatnot. And honestly, I just enjoy doing it. So the fact that I'm not paid a ton doesn't bother me. It's 2 hours out of my week. I do it because I really enjoy doing it. So, next, after guided implementation, we have guaranteed outcomes. And I'm going to pause here and we'll talk about guaranteed outcomes in just a bit.